What did I say? The perfect crumb coat will lead to the perfect cake, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. Let's get right into it. All right, guys, this is it. I have now recorded 3 YouTube videos. I don't like any of them. And I'm gonna be honest with you, YouTube editors are expensive. I don't know how to edit things and I don't have the time to learn. So I have been putting this off and off and off because I'm like, I don't know how to do any of this. The videos aren't gonna be good enough. But I am to the point where I'm like, I'm never gonna get this done if I don't just start. So I'm gonna go off of my TikTok comments and I'm gonna do something that is very highly requested. And I'm gonna teach you how to stack and crumb coat a cake. I feel like this is a really easy place to start because I do this like 100 times a week. I have 3 layers of cake that have already been leveled. So they're nice, beautiful, perfect layers. I have some Swiss meringue buttercream. I have a cake turntable. I have an offset spatula, a cake scraper, a spatula, and then we have some tape and a cake board, all right? Some people are gonna be like, oh my God, you're not a real baker. You're not using that little mat. I don't like it. I don't like them. I have tried them. I've spent so much money buying them. They just don't work for me. So I like to use tape when I do my crumb coats. So I take a little piece of tape, I roll it like that, like so, like that, and then I put it there and I put them in different directions so that if one tape rolls, the others don't roll at the same time. 3 pieces of tape. And then we're going to put our cake board on there. Beautiful. We're gonna take our offset spatula and we're just gonna dip into this buttercream a little bit and put a little dollop there so that your first cake layer has something to stick to. You're gonna take your cake layer, all right? It's beautiful, it's layered, and you're gonna stick it right in the middle. I like to make sure it's centered. The reason you wanna use frozen cake layers is there's 2 reasons. The main one being when your cake layers are frozen, your buttercream is going to set as you stack. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna put on a layer of buttercream onto this frozen cake. It's gonna get nice and cold. When I'm putting on the second layer, it's gonna stay still because it's not so soft that it's gonna spread around. Why are you smiling? My brother's looking at me, he's smiling. I'm already nervous. So something you can do, I don't have one, mine actually just broke, but you can use like an ice cream scoop and you can use that to measure the buttercream that's going in between your cake layers. I don't do that. I probably should for the sake of the video, but I don't have one with me. So I'm going too fast. Take some buttercream, okay? You're gonna slap it on there, all right? And then you're going to, I use a really, really offset spatula. Not a lot of people do this. I know a lot of people comment on my videos that they don't like it, but I fractured my wrist. I can't have one that's too straight, otherwise it hurts. So that's why mine is so offset. So you're gonna take it and you're not making it perfectly level yet, right? What you're doing is just making sure that it's covering the top surface of the cake, okay? And once it looks pretty good, you take your spatula and you hold it in one spot. You don't have to do all this once it's in an even layer, okay? You're just gonna hold it in one spot and let your cake turntable do all of the work. And there you go. I'm gonna do a thick layer because I like buttercream. You can do it as thin or as thick as you'd like. We're gonna do the second layer and you can get down level with it. Make sure that the sides line up. I like to turn it a couple of times just to be sure. You're gonna see when I go to move this, it's been sitting here for like 10 seconds. It's not slipping and sliding everywhere, which is a really good sign. So we're gonna go ahead. You know what? I'll teach you something. I don't usually do this because for me, I do it so often that I just don't have to, but something you can do to kind of lock in that layer is take your offset spatula and just make sure that all of that frosting is hugging the sides of the cake, okay? You're basically crumb coating as you go. All right. We're gonna take our next layer of buttercream, slap it on there. Once we've made sure that the cake is centered with the bottom layer, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna get it pushed to the outside. This isn't enough. Do just a little more. And you can always take buttercream off. So if you feel like you're putting too much on, that's okay. Get it all to the outside. Beautiful. And then we're gonna let the cake turntable do the work. It's a little thicker than that bottom layer, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more pressure. Take some of that off, add it back. Beautiful. It's nice and level. And it's okay if you see some buttercream coming off to the side because that's what you're gonna use to hug it to the cake later. So it's all good. All right, for this top layer, I'm going to take this and I'm going to flip it, okay? Upside down, add it to the cake, because this is going to be a lot flatter than the top part of it where you've leveled it with a knife. Beautiful. The reason we turned it over, you can kind of get a really good shot here, is you see this little gap? That's because the top of the cake, it's not perfectly level, right? So what you're gonna do is you're going to flick that buttercream up. Just take your offset spatula at an angle, flip it up into that empty space, and then you can take this extra buttercream and just go along the sides, just like that. Okay, beautiful. And then we're just going to finish off the cake. We're gonna put some buttercream on the top. Again, it's okay if you have too much, you can always take it away. But we're just gonna push it to the outside edges, same thing as the inside of the cake. Let the cake turntable do the work. And then you're gonna have this like lip of frosting. Take your offset spatula again, add an angle, and just push down like this. And then you can flatten your spatula along the side of the cake. And basically what you wanna do is you wanna lock in all of the crumbs on the cake. That's why it's called a crumb coat. So you really wanna cover all of the surface area of the cake layers. And you also really want, especially if you're doing a colorful frosting on the outside, you wanna make sure that there's not any gaps. You want this crumb coat to be pretty smooth. It's going to give you the best outcome for the end result of the cake frosting. Guys, I just realized I haven't been breathing this whole time. I almost just passed out. Could you tell? Is my face red? Oh God. I'm so nervous. I don't even know what I've been saying. I blacked out. All right. So here you can see that there's a gap in the frosting. I have a lot left over. I'm just gonna scrape that against it and then bring it over. And at this point, there's going to be gaps, but we can start using our cake scraper to take off the excess part of the icing. Okay, so what you're gonna do is take your cake scraper. You don't want it to be, you know, perpendicular with the cake. You want it to be kind of at an angle, and you're just gonna scrape it. Again, let the cake turntable do the work. Something I see a lot of people doing is they go like this. They're like moving their arm around. What's gonna happen is, if you go like this, you can't keep your arm like on a perfect line the entire time. You're gonna get dents in your cake. It's not gonna be smooth. You're gonna have air pockets. Just let the cake turntable do all the work. I feel like that's a really big mistake that I see people making. Not a mistake, do it how you want, but it's wrong. And so what I did is what I just scraped off of the cake, I'm not gonna scrape it off and put it in here just yet. I'm gonna look for dents in the cake, little gaps. So I'm going to take it off the cake scraper. I'm going to just do some patchwork. Anywhere I see it needs it. There's some here, go there. And then I'm gonna do this one more time. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna use the cake scraper again. Again, at an angle. Very pretty, looks so good. We're just gonna fill our gaps one more time. So what happens if we don't fill in the gaps is that when we add color later, the color is going to fill in the gaps. There's a reason I'm using white buttercream to fill my cake. I didn't always do this. I think the first year that I sold cakes, I added all of my colored frosting on the inside. Nobody wants to eat that much colorful frosting. Okay, a lot of the times the colors are kind of dark, they can stain or just not leave like a pleasant taste, depending on how much you're using. I'll show you how to color your buttercream later and not use that much frosting or that much food coloring so it doesn't taste bad. But just use white frosting on the inside. Nobody cares, unless your client is specifically asking, which I've had happen. Okay, give it another scrape, and I'm just gonna patch the top one more time. Just get into those crevices. Okay. Just let it go. Beautiful. Good enough for me, I think. I'm gonna take that off. And then what we're gonna do with the top of the cake, you can see that there is some buttercream that has made its way up. It's kind of piling up there. There's a couple ways you can do this. I'm gonna show you probably the easiest way. Whenever we're decorating an actual cake, I'll show you how I get my sharp lines with the colorful frosting. The crumb coat does not matter as much. Again, you're gonna cover this up, so it's fine. So what you're gonna do is you have your offset spatula. You can get level with the cake, and you're just gonna pull from like the outside of the frosting in. So you're gonna pull in, pull pull in. Okay. Beautiful, perfectly clean cake board, perfectly crumb-coated cake. A perfect crumb coat is going to give you the perfect base to decorate a really pretty cake. This is gonna be a really great base for when I add my frosting color. This cake I ended up doing in just another white. I think it's really, really pretty. And that's all. I feel like people make it out to be this like really difficult thing that you have to like learn a lot about, and you just don't. It's just all about practice, a little flick of the wrist, making sure that you're at the right angles. Yeah, I hope this was in depth enough. Let me know. I'm gonna show you how to decorate a cake from start to finish as well. We're gonna frost it. We're gonna add all of the piping, all of the glitter, sprinkles, luster dust. It's gonna be beautiful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and let me know what you wanna see. I'm really excited. I feel like this is the only way I was gonna get started. You know what I'm saying? There was no world in which I was going to like get a video fully edited with all, you know, the bells and whistles for you guys. This is what you're gonna have to deal with for a little while, okay, while I'm just getting my footing. But yeah, I have lots of snack exchanges coming up. I'm doing a series where I do tutorials on baking and cooking, which I'm really excited about. It's all beginner friendly, and we're gonna do it together. And I hope you're excited too. And I hope you have a great day.